Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy V, 4-Job Fiesta. Last episode we made it up to the 26th tower of the Phoenix Tower. So we're going to finish off the final 5 floors here. So, on the 30th floor, we're going to actually have to get into one of the fights, so you'll actually see what kind of happens. Because it's going to be a room that looks like this, but the way forward is in the center, so there's no avoiding the fights. Like this one, we've been able to avoid fights, or up to here we've been able to avoid fights because we could choose the left or the right. But here, we have to choose the center, and we get the Liquid Flame boss. So, he's going to go much easier than what he was when we fought him back in the steamship, because we're just so much stronger. And he doesn't do like all the stuff he did. He won't be like transforming. He'll just remain here as the hand. So easy living. Even with him still healing himself there, we're just we've already outsped healing with just one hit with the chicken knife there. So, and Faris gained a job level. Now she's Master Knight. And hey, when we get to the 30th floor here, hey, there's the hiryuu. Hiryuu. I guess he's got the dragon that's going to sacrifice himself. Is that the hiryuu that saved you, Lenna? I guess that yes. So he's going to dive off the tower, and then, like the phoenix, he will rise back up again. What's it doing? He says it wants to help you, Lenna. Hiryuu. We're going to learn a little bit about the backstory of the hiryuu. Now we have 2 options here during this little cutscene, and I'll show the answer to what happens with both of them. So you got like a yes or no answer. So I'll show you what happens with the yes and the no. Either way, you're going to get the phoenix summoned, so it's not like you can lock yourself out of the summon. So no matter what you just say, you're going to get the summon here. Lenna, hiryuu knew he did not have much longer to live. So it had saved him back at the forest. It used the last of its life to come to this tower so it could be of help to you, Lenna. Alright, so here's a little cutscene. We learn a little about the hiryuu, and finally we learn about Lenna's mother. You mean there's any way to help Mother? The doctors have done all they can. They said the disease can only be cured with the tongue of a hiryuu. Lenna, what in the world are you doing with that knife? You would never. Wait. I'll go. And the tutor, he was teaching Princess Sarissa magic. Princess Lenna, if you kill that hiryuu, they'll become extinct, and your mother dearly loved the dragon. Even then, would you cut out its tongue? If you say yes, the king comes, knocks you down. Fool. Oh, mother. But if we say no, then your father's come here many times agonizing over this, but it's for the best. Oh, sniffle, mother. So you kind of get the same little dialogue there, we just don't get to see the king make an intervention. I guess that's why Lenna was so attached to the hiryuu, remind her of her mother. A lot of memories there. And now we get the little summon orb again. And here it's transformed into Phoenix and entrusted its power and its spirit to Lenna. And what the Phoenix does is, since you couldn't see it with the summon, with the magic lantern, it's not a summon that's available magic lantern, is if you have basically the Phoenix flies across the screen and does fire damage to the enemies. And if you have any character that's defeated, it basically casts like a Phoenix down on them. It revives anyone who's knocked out while damaging your opponents with fire, the enemies. So, and speaking of summons, I mentioned that I would be showing off all the summons. So when we get into a battle here, I will use up the magic lantern and show you all the different summons. So that way, before I head to the Cleft of Dimension, which will be the only place we can go now, really, I'll be able to refill it at the History Heights, the top of the thing, basically the same place we found the lantern. I'm just reorganizing my jobs here, get things ready, so that, you know, changing things back. We made some good progress to our jobs, basically, in this in this tower, thanks to all those, you know, magic pots. So, yep, Lenna only needs to finish up the samurai now. Everybody else is pretty close to stuff, so. And enemies starting in the Cleft of Dimension will start doing. They were starting to give it a lot of ability points. So we'll be getting even more mastery of the jobs there. So yeah, even though the Red Mage costs so much to master, by endgame, you know, we'll have all our jobs mastered. So, although the Red Mage's like master job is only going to be really good for, you know, whoever's in that Red Mage job, because the other classes don't use straight magic. The final thing is double cast, which allows you to cast 2 spells at one time, which is good for like another magic character, like a White Mage, Black Mage, Summoner, or Time Mage. But since the only character that can use magic in our party innately is the Red Mage, they'll be the only one who will be able to use that ability. So it's kind of a waste that we are getting it for everybody. We're only going to really need it for Cara, who's going to be our Red Mage. And the way Lenna would make the best Red Mage. She has the best magic power, but they say I usually make the final classes based on like who I think has like the coolest sprite in that job. So like in this instance, Angels will be the samurai. I like his samurai sprite job the best. Lenna will be the bard. I like her thing the best. Cara will be the Red Mage, and Faris will be the knight. Yeah, the stats ain't too. Characters' initial stats aren't that like super different. Like they all add up to I think the same amount, but they're just spaced differently. Like Angels will have like 2 more strength than Lenna, and like 1 less agility than, or 2 more strength than like Lenna, but 1 less agility than like Cara. So like. But Lenna basically ends up being like the best magic. She gets the best bonuses plus magic. And Cara and Faris is pretty much straight across. Like she can be anything. And Angel leans more toward the physical. So I'm showing off all like the summons here. You've been noticing they've been popping up. So we're all the way down to the level 1s here. Which isn't as good as it is in Final Fantasy, it does the same thing, but it doesn't good as in Final Fantasy 4. In Final Fantasy 4, there's a little glitch you can do where if you put it in a certain position in your menu, your summon menu, it actually causes the thing to be free, the spell to be free. So, maybe I'll show that glitch off when I actually play that game, so. Now, toward the end here, when you're down to Chocobo, which is your basic summon, there's a chance that the Chocobo isn't just regular Chocobo, it'll actually become a fat Chocobo. Now the regular Chocobo that's getting summoned here is just a Chocobo kick, and that only hits 1 enemy. We only have 1 enemy here now, but if we had multiple enemies here, the fat Chocobo deals damage to all of them, and does more damage, so there we go. We'll see the fat Chocobo quite a bit here, because I want to keep using this until, just to show off, basically, it's the final summon, which ain't really even a summon, but it's called, like, Egg Chop. I guess it's calling it Chocobo Egg, and, you know, it doesn't do anything. It actually even says it doesn't even arrive. But I just want to show off that message, because I want to, like I said, try to show off everything I can each time I play this game, each Fiesta. So, if you want to see the Phoenix summon, you have to go back to previous year where Princess Sarissa did it, and where they had a summoner job. And I think that was 2 years ago. I'll have to find out, so. But like I said, we'll just finish this thingamabobber off, and then, like I said, we'll be able to refill it up, and then it'll start back up to Bahamut, and then work its way back down, just like how I did with Soja. So it's 2001 Fiesta for Rabbit and Small Animal Rescue. We had the Dragoon Monk Ninja and Summoner. So 2000 was for Healing Whisters. We had a Black Mage, a Time Mage, a Beastmaster, and a Chemist. Told you what 2021 was. 2022 was a Blue Mage, a Thief, a Berserker, and an Archer. And next year will be the last of the classes. We'll get the last remaining 4 classes: White Mage, Magic Knight, Geomancer, and Dancer. So after 5 years, we'll have all the jobs. So there's the egg chop, but the chop didn't reach. And now we can finally make our way out of the tower. So it's just a slow ride down. I have a good time to go through the tower, because like I said, there's some pretty decent, you can get some good drops from some of these characters. We won't be using a lot of the drops, because we don't need all, like the Wall Wings Dancer equipment, but it makes for good money to sell, and I'm obviously going to want to stock up on all the high potions, all recovery items, and all the as many elixirs that we can afford. Elixirs available in Mirage, and they're like 50,000 gold, so I'm not gonna be able to afford too many, but every little bit is helpful. Kind of like it's not as long as Final Fantasy III, which this game takes a lot of inspiration from, but the final dungeon is multiple parts. The final end dungeon in Final Fantasy III was you had the ancient not library, like the ancient tower base. Then you had the Silk's Tower, and then you had the World of Darkness. So you had 3 dungeons right in a row. This one we're going to have the 2. We have the Cleft of Dimension, and then we have the Void. But luckily, unlike Final Fantasy III, where they wouldn't let you save in dungeons, there's going to be multiple save points within the Cleft of Dimension, and there's one in the Void. So, although some of the save points are hidden behind bosses, so yeah, they make you work to gain the save points in that final dungeon. Luckily, we get one of those final save points right before the final boss of the game. So, alright, we're almost out of the tower here. And then, like I said, we'll just end up finishing off the final little preparations. We'll refill the lamp, get some stuff back in Mirage. And then I want to show you one little secret thing. I've been making a lot of statements. I'll be 100%ing this game. Well, there's a psychic, and the psychic will tell you little things about your adventure. And one of the things that they tell you is your treasure percentage rating. Basically, if you all the chests, if you open every single treasure chest in the game, you'll get the 100% rating. So. Obviously, we're not going to have 100% right now because we still have, some final dungeons to go, the Cleft of Dimension and the Void. In order to get the 100%, you have to actually defeat one of the optional super bosses, because the optional super boss Shinryu, the God of Dragons, because he's actually in a treasure chest. So you have to fight him to defeat him to get the contents of that treasure chest. Which turns out to be the Ragnarok sword, the strongest sword in the game, even stronger than the legendary weapon. But like I said, there's quite a few weapons that are stronger than the actual legendary weapons that we get, or like are more useful in a sense. You know, like the Dragon Whisker Whip is more useful than the Fire Brute Whip because it deals extra damage to dragons. You know, with a Fire Brute, can potentially cast Fire 3, but it's very rare that that happens, and it may not do a lot of, you know, it could also heal an enemy if it's strong against fire, so, or absorbs fire. And there's going to be a lot of dragons. You know, standard in Final Fantasy, a lot of times, you know, the final enemies, a lot of dragons inhabit the final area. You have red and blue dragons in Final Fantasy IV. We had the green, yellow, red, and blue in Final Fantasy III. All the dragons that guarded chests in Final Fantasy II made a comeback as random encounters in Final Fantasy II. And all the dragons could be in the game, could be found in the first 3 floors of the Temple of Fiends in the past. So zombie dragons, red dragons, frost dragons, gas dragons, blue dragons, all random encounters. So dragons, well, I guess, you know, they're scary monsters, you know. Run into dragons at the end of the game, and imps in the beginning of the game. Imps and goblins, based on whatever translation you're using. Let's go grab our airship, and let's make that last minute thing here. Last minute shopping here in Mirage. This is the only place where we can buy elixirs. So we're going to make sure to sell everything that we don't need. That Avis killer thing we didn't get. We don't need all the wall rings. We only need two of them. So we'll end up getting our last core ring then. Eventually we'll find that. Stock up on high potions, max them out. Get a few extra Phoenix downs. And like I say, we want to have at least like 15, I actually go with 15 of all the status curing ailments. Some are more common than others, but you know, just 15 tends to be enough to get through. If you had a white mage with a heal spell, it wouldn't matter, but the only bad thing about this store is, whatchamacallit, we can't buy cabins here, so we'll stop by the, Kelb the Werewolf Village, because that's kind of close to where the Psychic is, and we'll just max out our, we'll get our cabins there. So we'll buy everything here. Now, even though they don't, you know, cost, too much, they don't heal too much, you still want to get some extra potions just to be safe. You know, the limit, you know, for healing, you know, because, like I said, a max stack of heal potions is basically, you know, 10 extra high potions. Costs a little bit longer to cast all them, but we'll go to the werewolf village there, we'll get some things. But first to the south of Karnak, which is north of the werewolf village. If we submerge there, we see this little cavern here. And when we head into the cabin, well, we head into the cavern, not the cabin. I'm thinking cabin because, you know, we're in the cabin of the submarine here. Free in, so let's take advantage of it, you know. After that big long trek in the Phoenix Tower in the desert. We got the last enemy there in the desert, the land crawl. But this is the Psychic, and they tell you little stats. We'll see all the stats we have, like amount of time saved, battles we fought, how many enemies we've defeated. So let's check it out here. 1,000 battles. Average experience 91%, and amount of time saved 97. So, all right. Well, let's head back into our sub, resurface. Like I said, then we'll just finish up the last few things that we want to do. We want to get some of those cabins. So So there's the village right there. Oh, went to the south. Boom. And I chose this one because cabins aren't available. They're only available in World 2 villages. And this one's the closest to where we were anyway. And the cabin, the shop that sells stuff, is near the beginning of the town. Right at the entrance. So it's a quick jump in and out. So, easy way to heal, get all those items without taking too much time. So, speaking of jumping in, we'll be jumping into the Cleft of Dimension in the next episode. See you then. Bye.